Okay, from your core sequence, just a little rock and roll here. See if you can balance for a moment. So you're controlling this roll rather than just rocking back. You're really controlling it through the core. And then eventually come up, step yourself back, downward facing dog. So as always in this first downward facing dog, you're just feeling into what your body is telling you today. Feeling into the feet, pressing into the hands. Just any movement here that feels good for you. So really connecting with the earth for these first few breaths in downward facing dog. Once again, letting the energy of the earth as you press into the feet rise up into the pelvis. So you're creating this open gateway in the front of the hips and underneath the shoulders, so you've got this nice open shoulder space that's not dumped into the shoulder. So take an inhale here, bend into the elbows and knees. Let's start on the left foot today, so press into the right foot. As you exhale, lift the left leg up behind you. Take an inhale here. Stretch and lengthen through the body side of the waist. Exhale, draw knee to nose. 1. Inhale. So here, see if you can create space in the shoulders. Exhale, moving forward. 2. Inhale. On this third one, stepping yourself through into a lunge. So just moving through the weight, through the feet, moving the foot if you need to, and actually I'm going to change feet so I can face you. So moving through the feet. Sometimes it's nice to start on the left side. For once, there's no rules about starting on the right side. So yeah, just come into a center space here. Just feel through the support of your pelvis and try to sense a center point. And then drop the back foot down. So we're going to come into a core strength vinyasa warrior 2. So in this version, both knees stay bent. So anchor the foot, check the knee is coming out over the toes. No twist in the knee. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, start to lift through the power of the legs into the center. And once again, sorry if my head is cut off here. Come into warrior 2. But a core strength vinyasa warrior 2 where the power is coming up into both sides of the pelvis. So when we're one leg straight, one leg bent, you've got a lot of power coming through one side, not so much coming through the other side in the pelvis. It's very hard, unless you're quite strong and aware, it's really hard to find that center point. So find that center point in your pelvis, just moving through some movement here. So the stability is here, the expression is here. Just moving through your warrior 2. Again, the weight tends to sit back in the heels. Even if you have to stick your buttocks out a little bit to start with, that'll activate the buttocks, and then slowly you can start to bring the weight back. But try to sit back so the knees are protected. Take an inhale here, reach up. As you exhale, fierce warrior. So stretching out the forearms here too, you might even get a stretch along the upper arm. Inhale. And exhale. Sink evenly through the pelvis if you can. Inhale. And exhale. 3 more. Inhale in your own way, in expression through the arms. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can really widen out through the back of the arms. You get this lovely stretch across the rhomboids. Inhale, trapezius. And exhale. Okay, take a breath or two here. And then turn the front foot forward, bend down, and just come into a gentle ninja lunge here, stretching the inner thighs. Now again, for those of us who are quite flexible, it's really easy to sit into these joints. But what's happening there is we tend to be overstretching ligaments when we do that. So maintain this press into the earth that helps lift underneath the joint and provide this extra sense of stability. Just moving through, relax the neck and shoulders as much as you can. And then take an inhale, turn the front foot forward, the back foot maybe comes forward a little too. Lift up onto that back foot, onto the toes, step yourself back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, let's move through a vinyasa. As you exhale, roll yourself forward from the strength of your pelvis into a long, strong plank. Knees come down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale here. And exhale. Spend a moment or two in this gentle cobra. So it's releasing the spine, not building tension. Drawing into the spine. And then moving from there. And it might be really low. But the thing is that you have the stability that you can move from. Neck and shoulders relax. And then hands come back under the shoulders. Inhale here. Balloon the pelvis. Activate the ribs. Inhale. And then as you exhale, back to downward facing dog. Ooh. Anything you need here. Perhaps a lion's breath. Inhale. Let it out. Okay, moving on to the other side. So I'm going to do the same leg twice. So inhale here, bend elbows and knees. As you exhale, lift the right leg up behind you. Take an inhale to gather that length. Long leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale here. Exhale two. Inhale. And exhale, this time pouncing off that back foot, stepping the right foot forward. So here, once again, spending those few moments just to intuit where the center of your pelvis is, if you're dropped out on any one side or the other, just to feel into your asymmetry, your symmetry, noting that each side, your center of gravity will probably be slightly different. And then we're once again going to drop the back foot, knee over toes. Inhale here, press into the earth and use that to help you rise up into your warrior two. Little bit of self-expression here. You can even drop into the stretch here, pressing the femur bones to traction the lower back. Anything that feels good here. Just remember, this is your yoga, your self-expression. So it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's all about how it feels, what you need today. And then come into your warrior two. Always adjusting if you need to. Take an inhale. And exhale, fierce warrior on this side. Really open up those fingertips. Stretch across the upper back. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. So 4 more, however you would like. Just check if you're pressing into one foot more than the other. We will tend to do that. So press equally into both heels. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more. Any way you would like to take them. There's so many options with the arms. You can just come into a prayer circle. Whatever you're doing, just let it feel right for you today. And then come into Couple more breaths here. And then turn the feet into a temple pose, lower yourself down. Once again, take this stretch. And on this side, you can work your way over to one side a little. Again, only what feels good. Lifting up under the hips. Try not to dump down into the stretch. Just starting to become aware of the difference between the feeling in your body of stretching ligaments. So as soon as I dump into this, for example, I can feel it's pulling here and it's pulling here, and that means it's at my ligaments. So when I back off, and everyone's body's different, but you know, each human body has similarities. When I back off and I really use the press into the earth to lift up under the joint, I get this sense of stretch much more in the center of the muscle, and I can tell I'm stretching muscle. I'm not actually stretching ligaments. So overstretching ligaments obviously contributes to instability. So we really want to get the stretch where it needs to be, which is in the muscle. And then we have these nice stable ligaments. So whatever feels right for you here. If it's too much to stay down, you've always got the option of coming up here, and actually it's kind of a nice option to take. Just as something a bit different. And then once you've done there, turn the front foot forward, using the core, lift the leg, rotate onto the back foot, step back, downward facing dog. Let's move that through a vinyasa. Inhale here. Exhale, roll yourself forward to plank. If you want to try that plank lower, turn the toes under, lift up the belly, lower yourself down. Inhale here, one breath. Exhale, lift into your cobra. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, let it go. Inhale, hands underneath shoulders. If you want the pointed plank, draw into the belly, flood the pelvis with the breath. And then power of the exhale, press the hands, downward facing dog. Inhale here, and as you exhale, just hop or walk yourself forward to the front of the mat. Turn the toes out and come into a squat. And again, try not to sink into the stretch. Use the earth. You can even bounce this. Feel into any asymmetry in the hips. This will really show any asymmetry. If you need to hold on to anything, then please do that. Try and sit back in the heels. And then let's just finish this off with really activating the root. So hands into Charlie's Angel's Mudra. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, lift up. Inhale at the top. And then exhale to lower down, really sitting backwards. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, stretch, lengthen the spine. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale here. Exhale. Really press into the heels. Inhale. And then exhale, lower yourself down. Spend a few moments here in forward fold, or just step yourself straight back into a child's pose. Any movement that feels good here. Can be an active child's pose, or if you're doing a more restful one, bring the hands underneath the forehead. So what I'm trying to avoid is dropping the forehead lower than the hands, which tends to drop into the shoulders. Most of us, that's not a natural position for the arms to be too far behind the head. So take whatever pose works for you. And just return to a normal breath there before moving on.